Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good day. Wherever you are, whenever you're seeing this, I hope you are good. So guys, first things first, I want to say thank you so much for all of the support and the love and the feedback and the comments that I got on my last video talking about my tarot journey, and just that I'm finally at the point now that I don't need to rely on tarot cards when I'm doing my readings. This was something that I have always had for a goal for myself, for my gifts, and for my journey. So needless to say, I'm super blessed and excited to be at this point. God is good, and I'm excited to take you guys along this journey even further with me, getting more and more into my intuition, my gifts, and of course, you know what that means. You're going to be right there with me, getting deeper into your intuition and your gifts. And I remember just in that video, I was telling you guys that eventually I want to get to the point where I can do full sessions with no cards, but I don't even know how I'll be able to do that. And literally yesterday I did a session and I didn't even pull cards the entire session. And I wasn't even thinking about it. It was a 90-minute session. And after this session, I was like, oh, I literally didn't even use any cards. Well, I guess I've done it. So, of course, I'm going to still use my Oracle cards here. You guys were saying you were going to miss the pick a cards. I'm still going to be doing pick a card readings. I'm probably going to do an Oracle pick a card message for y'all soon, just so y'all can see that you don't need the tarot cards for a good read. So that's going to be coming soon. Now, today what we're going to be talking about is waiting and how to wait and to stop obsessing over your manifestations and over your prayers. So that's what we're going to be getting into today. As always, if you want to book with me, shop with me, connect with me, get a tarot course, get a releasing session, whatever you want to do, check down below in the description box to see all of the ways you can connect with me, follow me, and stay up to date with everything that I have going on. Now, I'll say maybe about a week ago, I got a comment under a video and someone was asking about how to essentially wait and to stop ruminating and obsessing over what you're trying to manifest. So I figured this could be something good to talk about, because I feel like this is something that I've addressed in several videos maybe, but I don't think I've made a video kind of specifically talking about waiting and how to stop obsessing over the things that you're trying to bring into your life via through manifestation or prayer. Now, how I feel about this, I feel that manifestation and prayer are very similar. For me, the only difference I feel between prayer and manifestation is maybe the action that you might put behind what you're doing. Like, let's say if you're doing a vision board, or you're doing some scripting, or you're doing some journaling, you know, that action behind it outside of just talking to God, you know, that action behind it might make it a manifestation. I always think that you don't need anything physical to bring anything into your life. You don't need a vision board to get the things on the vision board. You know, you don't need to script and write something 100 times to get it. But can you do that? Can it help you believe it more, trust it more, and see it coming to you? Absolutely. So there is a lot of value into these practices, but it's a waste of time if you're going to be worried. You know, people often say if you're going to pray, don't worry. And if you're going to worry, don't pray. And I really believe that. I think you can't have no faith and have all the faith in the world at the same time. And unfortunately, you can only pick one. You know, faith, hope, believing in yourself is not something that you could be straddling the fence about. And if you're in a space where you are obsessing over what you want, there's a chance that you really don't believe it's going to come. There's a chance that you're not sure it's going to come and you have no idea how it's going to come. There's a chance that you're just ready to get it right now. All of those things are not in alignment with an abundance mindset. They're just not. So if you're ever in a period of waiting, and we are all in periods of waiting in some points of our life, you want to make sure that you take into account what you're experiencing and you deal with those things. You know, don't just try to distract yourself from what you want to manifest. You want to get to the point where you know what God has for you, you know that it's coming, and you can comfortably know that whether it takes 15 years, 5 years, or 5 minutes, it's on the way, and that's good enough for you. And that's the point that you want to get into with your prayers and with your manifestations. Whatever you're waiting on, you want to get to the point where you know it's coming, where you fully trust the process, where you're not worried about how, where you fully relinquish that vision that you have in your head of it, and you're just wanting it however God brings it to you, whatever that may look like. And that looks like fully trusting God, fully trusting yourself, fully trusting that you're going to be okay. And sometimes that can be really difficult for us to do. So you have to ask yourself, why aren't you able to be calm in those moments? What is that? And it's a chance that you need to deal with that before you get what you want. You know, if you're not able to deal with those things before you get what you want, then you might not be deserving of the $1 million. You might not be ready for the life partner. You might not be ready to go back to school or have your dream job or your dream car or whatever. Having an idea of lack about yourself, about your life, doubting God, doubting the process is not the mindset or the thought process of someone that is successful, of someone that just believes that it's going to work. You can't believe and then don't believe, you know, so waiting gets you comfortable with waiting. The only way to get comfortable with waiting is by waiting. That's it. So the more uncomfortable you are, the more you're going to have to sit in that space. And when you're comfortable with waiting, it doesn't become waiting. You're just being. You're not sitting around like, when it's happening. You're just being. It's not something that you're counting off the days waiting for it to come. You're just able to be and rest in the joy that it's on the way. Have the joy that it's on the way. Don't be waiting for something to come into your life to have the joy and the satisfaction of it. When you ask God for something, you're supposed to be excited already, because when you say, God, I want something, you already know it's done. And if that's not how you feel, then you kind of need to go back to the drawing board. Realistically, because whatever you manifest is going to have that doubt attached to it. It's going to have that fear attached to it, because you know why? You're going to be afraid of losing it. You're going to be afraid of messing it up. You're going to be afraid of what's going to happen, or how it's going to happen, or how it's going to unfold. The things that I've asked God for and that God has brought to me on my own time, I'm okay if God says tomorrow, this isn't for you anymore. I'm taking it out of your life. I'll be okay with that, because I wasn't desperately waiting for it to come. I don't feel super attached to it. Like, I don't feel like this is my happiness or this is my security. When you're waiting and waiting on something and you're obsessing over it, when it comes into your life, you're never going to want to let it go. And then you have an unhealthy attachment with whatever you just brought into your life, because all of this anxiety that you've been feeling, staying up all late about it, having all this fear, having all this doubt. Now this thing that you manifest represents all of those things for you. It's not just a relationship. It's the thing that got you to sleep at night, because you don't have to stress every night wondering when a relationship is going to come. It's not just a job. It's the thing that maybe saved all of your relationships, because now you have the money to do X, Y, and Z that you didn't have before. It doesn't just represent that thing. It represents all of these other solutions to these problems that you've created because you just didn't want to wait, versus something just being what it's supposed to be for you. I don't think anything in this life, no material thing or a person, is supposed to be our cure-all. It's not supposed to be the one thing that changes our life forever and we never have a bad day or never have a sad day. And I think that when we are waiting for things in desperation, and when we're like stressing and obsessing over it, what you think that's going to bring into your life is not what it's going to bring into your life. I don't know of anybody on the planet that asked for something, got it, and it was exactly what they knew they were going to get. There's always going to be an obstacle, a challenge, something unforeseen in whatever you're attracting. And there's a chance that you're being prepared to deal with those unforeseen issues in that waiting period. What if you're going to attract a friend group and you're going to have to stand on your boundaries in that friend group, and you've never done it before? And if you don't stand on your boundaries, it's going to really set you back emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And it's going to leave you in an even longer period of isolation than what you've already been in. But you're ready for the friends right now, though. You're ready for what you want right now, but you are not equipped to face it. You're not equipped to deal with it. You're not equipped for whatever may come with that. I've manifested friendships that I've had to cut off. I've manifested relationships that I've had to move away from. I've manifested new places that I've had to move out of. I've manifested jobs that I've had to move away from. The things that we bring into our life aren't supposed to be in our life forever. And I think when you manifest something and when you pray for something with the intention of, this is going to solve all of my problems, my life would be better if I had this. The only thing that I need right now to make my life what I want is this. When you feel that way, and that's how you start your manifestation, you already started with a period of obsession. You already come into it with, this is going to be my saving grace. This is going to be the thing that changes everything. When the reality is, you don't know what that thing is going to be. You might have a conversation with somebody that you never see again, and that conversation is what changes everything. You might have an interaction with someone or just share a smile with someone. You don't remember what people remember about you from your interactions with them. So the chances are, since we're humans and our spiritual vision is very limited, even if we have gifts, even those of us who have gifts, we still aren't God. We still don't have all of the knowledge in the world. So there's always going to be a point where you think, this is it for me. This is what I need. And it won't be what you need, because after you've had that thing for a few years, you'll realize, okay, now this is what I need, So when you manifest something and you go into it feeling like this is going to be the saving grace to every issue I've ever had, you already put so much obligation on what you're waiting on. So of course, now the waiting becomes an obsession. It comes stalking the floor every night. It comes like you're waiting on this cure-all, when in reality, the cure that you're looking for is 9 times out of 10 achievable in your current moment, And And people often say, I often have said, when you're trying to manifest something, you really want to make sure that you are acting as if you already have it. You want to act as if it's already in your reality. You want to act as if you're already walking in that. And what do I mean by that? If you know you want something, if you get that something, would you be afraid and doubting yourself and fearing and being insecure and questioning God every day? Is that how you're going to act when you get it? No. So why are you acting like that now to attract that thing? You know? It's like saying that you want to have a baby. You guys know I always compare childbirth and conception to manifesting anything because creation is creation, right? So if you're saying, I want to get pregnant, and you smoking weed, you're drinking a liquor, your man smoking weed and drinking a liquor, ain't nobody detoxing, your body ain't healthy, it's all this kind of stress, you working all day, you're not getting enough rest, how do you think that's going to give you the results that you want? You're obviously never going to get those results, right? You're not going to get the results that you want. Versus saying, I want to have a baby. And you start to take care of yourself as if you're pregnant already. You start to take your vitamins. A lot of women start taking prenatals before they even conceive to prepare themselves for what they're stepping into. You're going to start watching the videos and reading the books and doing the classes and seeing your doctor and asking all the questions and getting all the information to prepare yourself for what you're stepping into. And in that preparation, there's joy in that because you know it's coming. You know it's on the way. You know? And I think that's what we're missing. When you're in that space of waiting, see that space as a space of preparation. See it as a space of you being prepared for what you're stepping into so it can be sustainable for you. You don't want to get something and then lose it immediately. You don't also want to get something and let it become a new fear for you. You know, if you're so afraid of losing something, was it really even worth manifesting it? A lot of people spend their whole life manifesting a relationship and they get the relationship and the person is from Satan's army and they can't let the person go because they're so afraid of being alone and they're so afraid of losing it. That's what happens when you manifest things and you stress and stress and stress and stress. You're only going to cultivate more stress. And you've gotten exactly what you've manifested, stress. You may get the job, but you're going to stress every day thinking that you're going to lose it. They may send you a real cryptic email once a month. We cutting people off this month. It may be you. We don't know. When you manifest things in that space, you'll see it sprinkled all throughout those types of situations. You'll see it there when you don't give yourself the benefit of waiting. So if you're trying to manifest something or bring something into your life and you already have the mindset that this is supposed to save your life and be God in your life, then go ahead and reel it back a little bit and say, hold on. Even when I get this, all my problems are going to be solved. So let me not spend all my time worrying about this. I want this, but I also have things that I can do right now to solve my issues right now. If you've been stressing about not having a job and you start to put out applications to try to attract a job and you stressing about when you're going to get on a job and then you get a job and now you stressing about the responsibilities of the job, when do you really get what you want, which is peace of mind and security? That's really what you want when you want a new job. You want peace of mind. You don't want to stress about money. You don't want to stress about where your next meal is coming from. You don't want to stress about how to pay the bills. But do you know that you could be making money and still be stressing about all of those things? Some very, very wealthy people are always stressing about the bills, even though the money is in the account, because that's all they know. And there are some people that don't know how their bills is going to get paid, and they're waiting patiently and peacefully. They don't even feel like they're waiting because they know what's going to happen. It's nothing to wait on. It's already in the process. It's already in the process. You can choose to stress, you can choose to fear, but that is your choice. That is your choice. So I think we need to not put so much obligation on the things that we're praying for and manifesting, because nothing is going to solve all of our problems, and everything that we want are things that God was already planning. God already wants you to have the money and the love of your dreams and the life of your dreams and the car of your dreams and the house of your dreams. God wants you to enjoy this human experience. God wants you to be happy and healthy and have the things that you want and create and be an example for how God can move in people's lives. God wants that for you. Okay? But God will give you those things and those opportunities, and the fear will make you think that you don't have it. Isn't it such a blessing to be able to ask God for something and know that it's on the way? Some people don't even know they have that ability. Some people can't even pray to God and feel like it's on the way. Some people don't even know how to open their mouth and ask for God. Some people can't. Some people are in a position where they don't even know if God can hear them. So if you're in a position where you have God on speed dial, if you're in a position where you can speak something into existence and you know it's on the way, you have no reason to stress and no reason to worry. And any stress or worry that you're experiencing, it's not about the manifestation. It's about you putting that unnecessary weight on what you want to bring into your life. And putting all of that weight and pressure on it, it makes it this thing that you have to get right now versus feeling like this is just something that you're wanting to experience for this season, you know? Because even the love of your life, even the job of your life, nothing in this life lasts forever. We have to get used to waiting. We have to get used to letting go. We have to get used to saying goodbye because those things are parts of our everyday reality as human beings. Nothing is going to last forever. Nothing is going to last forever. So we want to be able to manifest and ask God things from a space of peace, from a space of happiness. And we also want to remember we're always going to be waiting. So don't set yourself up for failure. Don't set yourself up to be afraid of something that you know is inevitable. Have a conversation with yourself about what you're really afraid of. Have a conversation with yourself about what this manifestation is really supposed to mean for you. Because the whole point of manifesting is that your faith brings it into your life. If you're manifesting something and you're stressing over it and you're desperate about it, you're probably going to get something that's going to make you want to never ask God for anything ever again. And then you'll be one of those people that says, I ain't manifesting, I ain't praying, I ain't asking for this, I ain't saying nothing about this, because every time I do something happen, or every time I say this, something bad happens, you know, and then you think that it's the universe against you, and somebody done cursed you and hexed you and all kind of crazy ass stuff, which probably ain't even true, you know. And people always ask me about that in my messages, and I always say to them, if you believe someone can curse you, then you have cursed yourself. Basically, if you believe that you walk around and people are capable of cursing you, then you have cursed yourself. Because I don't believe that Satan himself can manifest in front of me and say, I curse you. Baby, he's just wasting his powers. And he really about to be mad that he even walked up in here because he ain't going back to where he came from. I'm going to send him somewhere else. Okay? I don't think that there's nobody that could curse me or put nothing bad on me or do nothing bad to me. Do you know who I trust and believe and follow and have faith in, honey? You can't do nothing to me. There's nothing that an enemy, that anything bad, even my own depression, anxiety, there's nothing that can stop what God has for me. Nothing. Even my own fear isn't even enough to hold it back or to stop it. So what's the point? What's the point? What's the point of giving these energies power over you if God has the last say? Because that's the real tea. God has the last say. When you're stressing and worrying about those things, remind yourself, I don't even have control of it when this comes. God has the last say. So let me focus on what I can do right now in the present moment. And don't see your waiting as waiting. See your waiting as experiencing the gratitude for it and knowing that it's on the way. See your waiting as knowing that something better is going to replace it. See your waiting as being comfortable with God is going to take care of it. It's going to come when I'm ready for it. This is a moment of preparation for me. I don't have to stress and worry about this. It's all going to be okay. You know, you are the only one that can calm yourself down when you get to a point where you feel like all you are feeling is stress or confusion. You know, nobody can assure you in those moments. You have to do it for yourself. Because just like I said, you will be losing sleep. You will be losing your appetite. You will be feeling uncomfortable when you know it's time for you to pray or journal because you'll have that nagging thing in the back of your head like, when is my manifestation coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? And when you do that because you feel like it's going to solve everything or make your life so much better or yada, 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 you miss the whole point, you know? Because spiritually and mentally, what you feel spiritually and mentally controls how you feel about the world around you. Because I guarantee you, there's somebody that's manifesting to be in your situation. If you're living at home and you hate living at home, I guarantee you, there's somebody homeless on the streets that wishes they could live at home. And they can't speak to their parents are abusive, it's not going to be a toxic environment, but they wish they had a bed. And that's not to say that, okay, I have a bed in hell, I should be happy to have a bed. But we do need to recognize what's being provided for us, you know? I come from a space where I don't feel like I'm always understood. I come from a space where sometimes I can feel alone. I come from a space where sometimes I feel like I don't have what I need. I've gone many years alone, many birthdays alone, many holidays alone, where I was just kind of sitting around thinking about all of the things that I didn't have. I've been very, very disappointed with my life and with my decisions. I've been in spaces where I felt like, well, this is going to be my life forever. And I was prepared to just suffer forever, you know, and never really try again and do anything different. So don't think that because I'm doing this work and because I look good, that my life is any easier, you know. Don't think that anybody's life is easy. Don't think that anybody just gets what they want because they say it. You know, even the people that manifest very, very easily, trust me, they've lost people. They've gotten things and had to turn around and spend it on a bill. You know, they've had people come into their lives with love that have turned around and stabbed them in the back. None of us are exempt to the ups and downs of life. And you don't want to put all of your eggs or all of your hope in one manifestation or one thing, thinking that it's going to make everything different for you, because it is, but it isn't. You know, like, now that I have a great partner, and now that I have my 2 BFFs, and now that I have more understanding about my purpose and what I'm supposed to do, now that I have a better relationship with the people that I want to have good relationships with, now that I see myself growing and getting more clarity on what I want, you know, I know more about what I want in my life now than I ever have. You know, I still deal with the same things, though, that I dealt with when I had no vision, no support, no help, when I felt utterly alone. You know, I still experience those same things, because I know those things aren't about the manifestation, though. You know, if I manifest $1 million, but I have a fear of poverty, that's not going to go away when the money comes. So I need to focus on my fear of poverty, not the $1 million. Because if I cure my fear of poverty, or if I heal my fear of poverty, if I give it to God, if I know that I don't have any reason to fear, if I know that I'm always going to be sufficient and taken care of, if I know that God did not put me here to struggle, if I know that I'm always going to have somewhere, something, some way to make it, no matter what that means. You know, I've even had to face the worst reality and ask myself, what if I end up homeless? What if I end up homeless with no resources and no one to help me? What will I do? And the gag is, the worst thing that can happen to us is that we cease to exist in this physical plane. And there's only one thing that's going to take you out. You know, you can't die a bunch of times. There's only going to be one thing that takes you out, you know. So don't be waiting around thinking that one thing is going to be what ruins your life forever. And if you don't get one thing, it's going to ruin your life forever. Because as long as you're around, walking, breathing, you're going to have more opportunities. And some of us stop breathing and come back and get to breathing again because we didn't do what we were supposed to do. That's a good thing about life. That's a beautiful thing about life and about God and about this experience, that it never ends. Your spirit energy will never complete its mission until the mission is complete. You will never stop. You will never fail utterly. You will never be done for. There will always be an opportunity for you. There will always be an opportunity for you. And when you know that, you don't have to be desperate about anything. You don't have to feel like any one thing is going to just be your ticket to happiness, your ticket to success, because you know there isn't one ticket. There isn't one ticket. There's a million different things that you're going to step into in this life, not just your human life where you are who you are right now, but in all of your lifetimes and your spiritual and physical lifetimes. There's so many things that you're going to experience and learn. And we don't want to get caught up on manifesting the Telfar bag. You know, in the grand scheme of things, honey, you've been around for a billion gajillion years, you know. So I know you want a new job, but you also are like an infinite ageless being, you know. So let's not stress about the small potatoes, you know. Let's think about where we are right now. Let's focus on just showing gratitude for what we're stepping into. Let's remember who's in charge. Let's remember that we don't have to figure out nothing. Isn't that the great thing? All you have to figure out is what you want. You don't have to figure out the how, the when, the where, the what. No. Just know what you want. Just know what you want, and God will do the rest. That is a gift, and we feel like it's a curse to not know things. That is a gift. See that as a gift, that you don't have to figure out all the answers. I told God, I know I want to help people. I know I want to heal people. I didn't have to figure out nothing. God gives me the breadcrumbs as I'm going on the way, and I'm moving along, just picking up my little breadcrumbs. Not like, dang, when I'm getting a whole roll of bread. I'm comfortable with my breadcrumbs, baby, because I've bitten off more than I can chew before. And that's what happens. We bite off more than we can chew. We end up in a space that we're not ready for, and we have to be like, I know this is what I thought I wanted, but clearly this is not what I really, really needed. A lot of things that we want, we don't even really need. I've manifested so many relationships, so much love, so much drama, so many friendships that have ended, even clients. I've manifested so many things thinking that this is what I wanted, but it was not what I needed. So that kind of taught me to get a lot less specific with my manifestations and with my prayers. Like, I want to be specific, but I want to be specific in knowing what I want this to do for me on my healing journey and what I want it to do for me in life. I manifest things and I ask God for things because I know It can maybe serve an area of my life. I know it can be a bridge between this and this. Or maybe I just know that, that's just what I'm feeling like in the moment. But that might change. I might manifest something that can help me deal with stress. And I might have one thing in mind, but because my purpose is something that can help me deal with stress, I just end up sleeping better just from that prayer. And every day I'm like, when am I gonna, get this thing that's supposed to help me with stress? And I haven't even been recognizing that I've been sleeping better. I haven't even recognizing that my issues have been getting taken care of. When you ask God, I want the money, I want the job, I want the this, and you immediately come into a space of stress, you're being shown, you want this is what you have to do to get it. So you have to deal with your impatience. You have to deal with your ego that says, if I don't have it right now, I don't want it at all. You have to deal with all of the parts of you that doesn't want to wait. You have to deal with all the parts of you that can't handle not knowing. You have to deal with your fear of letting go of control. Because that is how you get what you need, not what you want. You can get what you want, but is that really going to solve your issues and solve your problems? It's not. What you really, really need is to feel secure and confident all the time. What you want is a boyfriend and a job giving you more money. But that job can fire you, and that boyfriend can do more than fire you. Okay? Or whatever it is you're trying to manifest, whatever it is that you want in our life. Most people want love and money, right? Most people want connection and money. Because we want resources, because we need resources to live on earth, and because we want to be around people because we are not destined to live alone. That's it. We all have the same two things, community and money. That's what everybody wants. And most things that you are trying to manifest are rooted in security, something that's going to give you a certain freedom in your life, something that's going to give you a certain security in your life. And you can feel secure no matter where you are, no matter what you have. You don't need a certain dollar amount to feel secure. You don't need to be in a certain tax bracket to feel secure. You can ask people in all kind of tax brackets. You can ask people that have been married for 25 years if they feel secure. Some people will tell you no. Some will say yes, but some will say no. And sometimes you can have a secure relationship and still not feel secure because it's about you. You can manifest the love of your life, but if you don't love you, that love will not even come and be receptive to you. So whatever problems you're feeling, whatever thoughts are haunting you when you're trying to manifest, get prepared to deal with those thoughts and deal with them. Don't be sitting around waiting and waiting and waiting. Deal with the fact that you're even waiting and waiting and waiting like that. That's the problem. Not the fact that God is making you wait. It's the fact that you feel like God is making you wait. That's the issue. Why do you even feel that way? Take that as an opportunity to do self-reflection. Take it as an opportunity to say, how can I be more patient? Manifest patience. Manifest patience, manifest patience, peace of mind. Manifest an open heart, manifest understanding, manifest security, manifest feeling comfortable no matter what, manifest the power and the comfort that comes from knowing that God has your back. Because when you know that God is going to come through for you, it's not like anybody coming through for you. Somebody might be late to pick you up, but God is going to be there when he needs to be there. They say he may not come when you want him, but he's going to be on time, okay? When you need him, he's going to be there. And I think that a lot of the things, if not all the things that we manifest and we don't get are things that we're not even supposed to have anyway. God might have you asking for a relationship so you can start to reflect on all of the reasons you don't need a relationship. And God maybe just put the words in your mouth for you to manifest a relationship so you can start having these dreams and seeing all of these things. And because you think you're supposed to be in a relationship right now, and that's what you manifest in the beginning, you can't even see that God is showing you something else. Life is not what we think it is. Life is not step 1, step 2, step 3. Life is step 1, step 2, step 3. From step 3, you're going to return to part 1A. Then from 1A, you go to part 2, B, C, and D, which is going to lead you into part 4. But after part 4, you got to go to part 3. And after part 3, you got to go to part 1C. That's what life is like. There's going to be stuff that you experience 60 years from now that's going to help you with stuff that you dealt with 4 years ago. That's what life is. So it's not black and white. Or rather, it is black and white. Don't think that stuff always has a hidden meaning. Most of the time, stuff is exactly what's in front of you. If you're trying to manifest something and you're immediately met with fear and doubt, that's what you need to be focusing on. Not what kind of rims you're going to put on the car. You need to focus on why you started to manifest a car, and now every day you literally are obsessing over vehicles to the point where you cannot get any sleep. What's going on with that? Figure out what that is. Because that fear is probably affecting your relationships, your ability to have difficult conversations, your ability to be uncomfortable, your ability to release control. Manifesting and working with God and working with spiritual energy is never about us getting what we want. It's always about our spirit getting what it needs. our spirit getting what it needs, whatever that's supposed to be in terms of growth or sight or clarity or what have you. So just be open to the overall process and recognize what you're being shown in those moments. It's never to punish you. It's never to be like, let's see if they really want it. That is not what it's about, honey. If God wanted all of us to have everything, then that's what God could have done. Period. If God wants to rain bread from the heavens, that's what he could have did. He done did it before. That's what he could do if that's what he wanted to do. You know? So there's nothing that God can't do. God is aware of everything that God is doing, and God has not forgotten about you. So just keep those things in mind as you're manifesting and as you're waiting in your manifestation. See it as being comfortable. Choose to have faith or either to worry about it. And if you are going to choose to worry, dedicate yourself to figuring out what that worry is about. Don't just let your fear be a fear. Why are you so afraid? Why do you feel like it's not coming? Why do you feel like, what do you think is going to happen if it doesn't come? You know, really try to understand what you're experiencing, because the things that you're thinking in your mind are not just spooky thoughts just to be spooky. It's things that you're thinking that are supposed to lead you to some type of revelation, some type of download, some type of understanding. And a lot of times we stop at the fear and we're just like, I keep obsessing. Why? We obsess about shit for years and never ask ourselves, why am I obsessing about this? Ask yourself why and do that. Because once you ask yourself why and you figure out why, you're never going to stress or obsess ever again. And that's how you really get your manifestations. And again, your stress and obsession is rooted in a lot of other things. It's not just about that bag that you want. It's rooted in other things. So you have an opportunity to heal more than what you're looking for. Okay? So yeah, remember that a lot of times in spiritual spaces, we always get more than what we bargain for. That's just how it is. You know, God is the king of killing 15 birds with a grain of rice. You know, that's what he's going to do. Kill 15 birds with a grain of rice, honey. He's going to get the job done. So it's always going to be more that we gain from these things. If God brings something into your life, it's not going to just be that one thing. It's going to serve a lot of other purposes for you. So just keep that in mind as you're manifesting and as you're on your journey of bringing new things into your life. But yes, guys, that's what I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know how you guys are feeling about it down below in the comment section. I love you guys. And if you want to book sessions with me, connect with me, all of that, and then some, y'all already know what to do. Check down below in the description box for all of the websites. And I will see you guys next time. I appreciate y'all and I love you guys. Bye, guys. Bless.